Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal. And last week we got a new official update regarding the future build of Dragonflight patch 10.05, which includes new upcoming in-game features, a new set of collectibles to earn, as well as new major class changes and talent tree revamps. And this week the public testing realms are finally open, which means we get to dive into some of the biggest class improvements in greater detail, with this build featuring massive talent overhauls for the class of Druid, addresses issues with many healers like priests and paladins, and seeks to add further improvements to a handful of DPS playstyles. This list of changes is by no means final, and we will likely see even more class changes implemented and adjusted over the next few weeks on the PTR realms. But for now, I want to go over some of the newest changes and highlight some of the biggest improvements that classes are set to receive so far in the patch 10.05 PTR. But right before that, most of you guys watching these videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do. So let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel as well as hit the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you're looking to get regular class and content updates for all the future Dragonflight builds. First, we have massive revamps coming for the class of Druid, with this patch hoping to adjust their class talent tree, which saw a lot of feedback during the development of Dragonflight. And many in the Druid community felt that some of the best gameplay defining talents were too expensive, locked away under 3-cost talents, which resulted in less class customization. This affected talents, which helped add hybrid benefits, group support, and increased overall output. In patch 10.05, the talent tree saw a lot of improvements, with many of the core playstyle options moved higher into the talent tree for better ease of access. Big impact talents like Skull Bash or Cyclone have been made cheaper to access, requiring less talent point commitment. They also improved the interconnectivity of certain talent choices, which gives a better flow for build creation. They also added the talent of Forest Walk, which allows for better movement and survivability when playing builds utilizing regrowth and hybrid healing capabilities. The talent of Typhoon can now also be modified, with nodes that either strengthen the knockback effect or reduce the cooldown for more frequent usage. Then we have the spec of Balanced Druid specifically, where we see changes to the Balanced Druid's Eclipse mechanic. The Lunar Eclipse has been empowered in this build, and will now cause Starfire to become more effective at cleaving multiple targets, instead of the original effect which helped increase its critical strike chance. We also see talent adjustments for Balanced Druids, where talents like Solar Beam become much easier to access. The left side of the Balanced Druid talent tree will be themed around damage over time focused gameplay, with Wild Mushroom, Orbit Breaker, and Denizen of the Dream placed towards the bottom of the column. The talent of Cosmic Rapidity replaces Cycle of Life and Death, causing Moonfire, Sunfire, and Stellar Flare to deal their damage more frequently without reducing the ability duration. This means less dot management while gaining bigger output value, which helps synergize for certain talent options. The Feral Druid also saw big changes to its spec talent tree, with the primary defensive talent of Survival Instincts moved into the middle row for better accessibility. Berserk and its modifiers can now be found together in close proximity for better talent optimizations. Bleed talents like Primal Wrath, Double Clawed Rake, and Terra Open Wounds now flow better on the right hand side of the talent tree. The Feral Druid's bleeds have seen big gameplay and damage improvements during the development of Dragonflight, with Ferocious Bite focused builds falling considerably behind. Patch 10.05 hopes to bring back the Bite focused builds to a more competitive level, with buffs to talents like Taste for Blood to double its effectiveness, and an increase to Rampant Ferocity when cleaving multiple targets. We also see Lunar Inspiration receive a massive buff, increasing Moonfire damage by 66% while placing it down in a node to compete against Feral Frenzy. Finally, the spec of Guardian Druid is seeing massive redesigns, starting with the talent of Earthsign Adept becoming a baseline Guardian passive. The talent tree has seen big revamps, with the left-hand side focused on mauling, thrashing, and bleeding your targets, while the right-hand side provides hybrid, bear gameplay, and arcane opportunities. Guardian Druids also gain new gameplay defining talent options, starting with Raise. Raise replaces Maul, causing you to strike with the might of Ursak, cleaving all targets in front of you for moderate damage, soft capped at 5 targets. Raise does technically do less damage than Maul in single target, but excels in AoE encounters. Raise also gains the benefits of talents that help empower Maul, like Tooth and Claw, as well as Ursak's Fury, which helps improve your overall survivability. We also see new talents like Thorns of Iron added into the talent tree, causing Ironfur to erupt, striking all targets around you with physical damage based on your current armor value. Druids also gain Moonless Night. Enemies under the effects of Moonfire suffer additional arcane damage when thrashed by single target damage abilities. And finally, we have Lunar Beam, which summons a beam of arcane light around your location, burning all foes and healing you for 8 seconds. Lunar Beam gains greater value with Illune's Favored, which causes you to heal based off of all the arcane damage that you deal, which could make this talent incredibly powerful in large group dungeon encounters. We also have new updates on the horizon for the Healer Preservation Evoker, with improvements to bronze healing playstyles, starting with the Temporal Anomaly, which will apply a shield to all targets it passes through with a new soft cap of 5. The orb will travel at a steady pace without slowing down, and the shielding effect will become more consistent. Temporal Anomaly cooldown has been increased to compensate for its overall output. The talent of Nosdormu's Teachings has been redesigned and will now reduce the cooldown of empowerment spells by 5 seconds every time Temporal Anomaly is cast, increasing the value of empowerment-focused playstyles. Resonating Sphere will apply Echo to the first 6 targets it passes through, and Time of Need cooldown has been reduced down to 60 seconds. Next, we have changes to the class of Monk, with new adjustments to the spec of Mistweaver. Mistweavers gain their artifact weapon ability of Shaylune's Gift in place of Bone Dust Brew. While in combat, you generate clouds of mist every 8 seconds. Shaylune's Gift causes you to absorb all mists, which will heal nearby allies. Shaylune's Gift can be further modified, with Veil of Pride increasing mist generation for better healing effectiveness, or with Xiao Hao's Lessons, where Shaylune's Gift causes you to gain combat benefits for up to 30 seconds in duration. The Lesson of Doubt causes your healing and damage to be increased by 30% based on your target's health. Lesson of Despair increases critical strike chance while above 80% health. Lesson of Fear decreases your damage that you take by 15% while increasing your haste by 20%. Lesson of Anger causes you to duplicate 20% of all damage and healing you deal every 4 seconds. A new talent of Burst of Life will now compete in the same slot as Calming Coalescence. Burst of Life causes Life Cocoon's cooldown to be shortened, but its absorb value is reduced. When the Cocoon Shield expires, it erupts into a heal which will help restore nearby allies, which could allow for better group healing in dungeon situations. Holy Paladins gain more support towards an aggressive melee-focused build of Avenging Crusader. Avenging Crusader will now cost 5 holy power instead of mana, will have a 45-second cooldown instead of the original 2 minutes, but will have a shorter duration of only 12 seconds. This allows Avenging Crusader to be more readily available to counter group-wide damage, which could be incredibly powerful in PvP, and potentially viable in PvE content like Mythic Plus dungeons. Tower of Radiance causes Holy Light and Flash of Light a chance to grant holy power when healing targets without Beacon of Light. The lower their health is, the higher your chances become, which allows for better research generation with a caster-focused playstyle. The talent of Inflorescence causes every third cast of Holy Light to grant bonus holy power, making it more consistent than the original design. Finally, the Blessing of Winter has been revamped. The Frosty buff now restores your allies' mana with 1% mana return every 2 seconds. and this buff can either be applied to yourself or other healers, which allows for group benefits. The class of Priest is also seeing new changes in the patch 10.05 PTR. Fear can now be upgraded with a petrifying scream, causing all targets under the effects of fear to tremble in place instead of running away in all directions, which adds even more control in dungeon group scenarios. The spec of Discipline Priest sees new talent improvements, starting with Protector of the Frail, which adds an extra charge to pain suppression, increasing your ability to protect a singular ally. The talent of Wheel and Woe empowers your smite, as well as your power word Solace by 12% for every bolt of penance, together with Train of Thought, which causes smite and power word Solace to help reduce the cooldown of penance, which allows for an interesting holy focus synergy. Abilities like Mind Blast and Power Word Solace help empower your penance through Harsh Discipline, which empowers penance focused gameplay. When playing Void Summoner, Power Word Solace gets added to the list of spells, which helps reduce the cooldown of Mind Bender. The spec of Holy Priest also gains more offensive bonuses with the redesign of Burning Vehemence. Vehemence increases the damage of Holy Fire by up to 30% and causes up to 30% of its initial damage to radiate to nearby enemies within 12 yards of your primary target, but this damage is soft capped at 5 targets. A talent designed for dungeon content with large group AoE situations in mind, where a healer damage can be extremely beneficial. Warlocks are also seeing more talent improvements, starting with Soulkeeper, whose duration has been capped to 8 seconds, gaining more power for every soul charge available. This allows the Soulkeeper to gain more strength for a shorter cast duration, which improves its overall AoE effectiveness. We also see a change to Inquisitor's Gaze, which has become a proc effect instead of an active passive buff. The Inquisitor's Eye damage has also been increased to be a bit more impactful in single target encounters. Affliction Warlocks lost the talent of Soul Tap, which has helped you recover combat resources, but was removed due to Affliction Warlocks feeling bogged down with too many GCDs required to play the spec optimally. Pandemic Invocation has taken its place in the talent slot, reduced down to a singular point. Focus Malignancy has been added to the talent tree, increasing the damage of Malefic Rapture against targets suffering unstable affliction, improving single target performance. The talent of Soul Swap has also been revamped, and now functions similar to its original design from previous expansions. Soul Swap causes you to inhale your damage over time effects, capturing their duration, and lets you exhale them onto another target, reapplying all of the capture bonuses. And finally, we see upgrades to the playstyle of Arms Warrior. First, the talent of Sweep and Strikes has become a baseline ability, increasing Arms Warrior's cleave capabilities without any talent point investments. Arms also gains access to defensive stance for free without requiring a talent slot as well. New talent of Improved Slam was added into the Arms Warrior talent tree, improving the crit chance of Slam by 10% and crit damage by 30%. Talents that help improve the damage of Overpower, like Improved Overpower and Battle Lord, now also increase the overall output of Dreadnought as well, increasing arms damage in AoE content. The talent of Skull Splitter will natively cause your deep wounds to expire instantly upon your target, allowing for partial bleed-based synergy. While the talent of Tide of Blood further upgrades the damage of Skull Splitter by 30% and now causes Rend to also expire instantly as well. The new talent of Spiteful Serenity will share a node with Anger Management, causing Colossus Smash and Avatar duration to be increased by 100%, but their damage bonuses are reduced by 50% as well. This causes base Colossus Smash to shatter your enemy's defenses for 20 seconds, but with reduced output value. But a longer Colossus Smash window could help foster a Test of Might focused playstyle. And the talent of Avatar gains a 40-second uptime, though with reduced combat benefits, which could potentially perform better in fights requiring sustained output rather than fights with phases of burst throughput. And for now, that's going to be the full list of upcoming class changes available for testing over on the patch 10.05 PTR. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about some of the upcoming class changes so far? Which of the talent revamps are you excited for, and which ones do you think don't quite hit the mark just yet? And what other classes are you hoping receive even more updates over the next few weeks on the PTR realms? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single live stream and video, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video, or discuss with the other members of the community what you think about the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.